Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this video, I'm looking at Slim SEO, specifically the Slim SEO Schema extension. Slim SEO is one of the newer SEO plugins available for WordPress, kind of the new kid on the block. I started using it a few years ago and I really like it. The settings for the plugin are very straightforward. With some of the SEO plugins, I feel like I'm entering a maze. So I really like the focus on essential features. This is the Slim SEO page on WordPress.org in the plugin directory. The base plugin for Slim SEO is free. You can see it's got more than 30,000 active installs, 75-star reviews, and 12 out of 13 support requests have been resolved in the last 2 months. So they're active in helping users. This is the Slim SEO website, and while the base plugin is free, they have 2 premium extensions, a link manager and a schema builder. And the schema builder is the one that we're looking at in this video. If we look at the features, it's a visual schema builder, and we're going to go in and look at how that works. It is pretty flexible and gives you the option to create a large number of schemas and different properties for schemas, as well as custom properties. So for example, you can use dynamic data and custom fields. And you can assign your different schemas to different post types. It outputs the json-ld, which is the preferred format by Google. And you can see it has compatibility for ACF, Metabox, Zion Builder, WooCommerce, Oxygen, Beaver Builder, Bricks, and others. And it can work with these other SEO plugins if you want to use them as the base and just use the schema feature. But of course, it also works well with Slim SEO. Okay, if we look at the pricing, we can see there's annual pricing for one site, 10 sites or unlimited sites, and there's lifetime pricing, again, for one site, 10 sites, and unlimited sites. So what we have here is a book review site. This site has been around for a while, and I've been cleaning it up and am in the process of rebuilding it using bricks. It was an Elementor Astra site previously for many years. So while this site is very much a work in progress, I know that one of the things I'll need to do is to create the schema for these book reviews. So this will be the example that we'll be using in the video. Before we drill down on the site and the book reviews here and start to build our schema, let's take a quick look at what schema is. Here's a site, schema.org. Basically, this is a project, a collaboration of Google, Microsoft, and Yandex, 3 of the big search engine companies. The idea with SEO optimization and the schemas is you're going to get better search results if the search engine understands what the content is. And so one of the ways that it understands the content is that you tell it you have structured data that tells the search engine what the data is and how it's organized. So there are a ton of schema types, 806 different types, lots of properties and data types and so on. So basically these search engine companies set out to kind of map the different kinds of content you'd find on the web. Here are some schema types, and I want to point something out here. So a book is a type of creative work, and for a book review, you could actually have maybe 2 people. You could have the author of the book, but you could also have the author of the book review. So I'm pointing this out because If we look at, say, a book, you can see it has different properties, and some of them, like if we go down to author, they can have a schema itself. So you can build up your structured data by piecing together these different parts of schema. But one of the things that happens in some SEO plugins is that they don't give you very much flexibility. So for example, let's go back to the site for a minute. Let's say we want to do the schema for this book review. Some SEO plugins will give you the option to do a schema of a book, in which case you don't have the review part, or of a review, in which case you can't customize it for the book information. One of the nice things about Slim SEO Schema is that it is very flexible. Let's go and look at this, one of these reviews here. Okay, you can see we have the name of the review, we have the reviewer's name, okay, the review body, the rating, the format, the audience and the genre. Okay, if we go and look at the review in the editor, we have the title, the review body. Here we have tags, we have genres, we have audiences, we have featured image, but down here we also have book review fields. Okay, we have the book author, title, the series, the description, publication date, the ISBN, the format, the author's website, the rating. Okay, if it's an audiobook, we have information about the reader and the book length. But then we come down here, we see that there's some SEO data here. Now we could go in and we could create a schema each time when we have a book review. But what we want to do is we want to create a template for all the book reviews, right? So we can reuse it each time and we don't have to create one, on the fly all the time. That's what we're going to be doing. But here's some other information that Slim SEO is adding for the book review. Let's go back and view this on the front end. If we go back to schema.org, one of the options is to validate. Okay, and so you can put in a URL or you can put in your own schema snippet there, and schema.org will validate your schema to make sure that it's understandable. And that way you can see that the information you've pieced together, the schema you've created, is going to work the way you want it to. Now, there's another option for testing. Part of the Google Search Console, you can do this as well. And this is the way I prefer to do it. Your site does need to be online. If you want to use the URL, you can't do it on a local development site, but you can, generate it, the page on the local development site, and grab the code from the source of the page and test it that way. Here we are, we're grabbing this URL for our book review. We're going to plug it in here and we're going to see, without doing anything, what kind of information does the search engine think we have on this page. All right, well, that didn't take too long. Okay, so it says it found two types of items. Okay, it found breadcrumbs and it found site link search box. Gee, didn't find anything about our book review. We're going to come back here and test as we go along. And I wouldn't assume that, it's just going to work magically the first time we do it. I'm going to be going back and forth until I get something good here. All right, so you can see we have work to do. All right, so back to the site. Let's go and take a quick look at what we have on the site. You can see this is bricks. As I said, I'm transitioning the site from Elementor to bricks. Okay, so if we look at the plugins, we can see I have automatic CSS installed for CSS frameworks. Bricks Extras, I'm going to use their hotspot module. Then we have Metabox all-in-one, which we use to create the book's custom post type and the genre and audience, taxonomies, and the custom fields. Okay, and then we have Slim SEO, the free plugin, and the Pro Schema extension. Slim SEO, has its menu under the settings area. These are the options for Slim SEO, which kind of correspond to the menu items here. If we turned on redirection, for example, we get a tab up here for redirection. I'm going to do that at the end when I go through the URLs that need redirection. I like Slim SEO because we can step through in a very straightforward manner and add our values. Some of the SEO plugins are a bit like a maze way. So even though Slim SEO may not have quite as many features, it has all of the essential features and it's much easier to use. All right, so here, you can pick the custom post types. This is the information I'll show in the archive. And, some of these we don't want to have, SEO optimized, like our URLs for going out to Amazon or the author's website or something like that. We don't want it to optimize this custom post type. So like for that one, for instance, I have hide from search results. Okay, and then we have the default social images and our accounts, import and export, and then we have schema. Okay, so let's start creating our schema. I'll click Add Schema. And now you see we have a bunch of options here of different starting points that we can pick. Okay, and if we look through this long list, we could choose Review, or we could choose Book. In this case, I'm going to choose Review and not Book because it's a review of a book. It's not a post giving kind of facts about the book. So I'm going to choose Review. We can give it a name. So this is something we can customize. And then here are the properties that we need to fill out for a review. So it's a type, we're going to have it as a review. But then this, who is the author of the review, the title of the review, the item being reviewed. You have the option for pros and cons. You have a rating. You have the review body, the date published. Okay, you'll notice there are just a couple of items here with the red asterisk indicating that's required. A lot of these are not required. So that's something to keep in mind, that you don't have to supply everything, all the options, just the required ones. And if we look, notice that there's an options menu here. And now we see that we have the option for all the dynamic data, the categories and terms, author information, user information, site information, and then our custom fields. Okay, if we go all the way to the end, we say here's our schema. What we can do is we can choose one of these custom fields from this list of dynamic data, but we can also add a schema. Like if you see this author here, it says please create a person or organizational schema to link to here. So what we need to do is we need to add a person schema for the review author. So I'm going to add a schema and go down the list till I find person. Here we go. Okay, and let's customize this. We'll say reviewer. Okay, and so author display name, author post URL, the first name, last name, description, avatar. So this information is going to be coming from my user profile, so that's good. So I'm just going to save changes here. And now let's go, we'll collapse that. Now let's go up here and we'll remove this placeholder, and let's go choose that schema we just created for the reviewer. Okay, so you see what we're doing is we're building up our description of the book review using these objects and properties that have been defined for schemas. Okay, so here's the name of the review. That's good. And then the item being reviewed. Okay, well, we're reviewing a book. Again, we're going to need to add another schema. So let's add a schema and choose book. We'll open that up. Here we have the name of the book. So let's go for our custom field. That is title. Okay, oops, you notice that I got a little error there. And one thing I've found is if you have an error in your setup here, when we go and check on schema.org, or in the Webmaster Tools, it won't show the schema if we have an error. Now we're going to need another schema person. So let's add another person. And this one will say book author. Okay. Let's go and find our custom fields for book author. We have a URL in there for author's website. Okay, the author, we don't have first name, last name, but they're not required, so I'm going to remove them here from the schema. Author description, we don't have that either. And the author avatar, I don't have that either. So I'm going to save the changes. And now let's go up for item reviewed. Oops, now let's go up for book and add the schema we just created for the author. And you'll see that additions is required. So I'm going to go here, and these are audio books that are being reviewed. And I have a custom field for the ISBN, and the suggested action is read. I think we're looking pretty good. Unique to your organization. So I guess that's okay. Okay, so there is our book schema. So a reviewer, book, book author, and I'll remove these placeholders because that will cause an error if we are not formatted correctly. Alright, so let's go back here now. Item reviewed. So let's go pick our book, and I don't have pluses and minuses or pros and cons. So that's not reviewed. Review body, I have that. That's the post content, the date published. Oh, and then I need the rating. So we'll go get the review rating there. All right, I think this is pretty close. So let's save this, and let's go back, grab the URL of our book, and let's go and test. Two items, breadcrumbs and site links. Didn't pick it up. What did we do wrong? Let's go take a look here. Book review, we have properties we filled out, but we didn't set the location to where the schema is going to be added. So we want it to be singular, and then we want it to be book, all books. That was something we were missing. Let's save the changes. And let's go and rescan that. Still just 2 items. Let's do a little bit more of an in-depth look here, because probably what this means is we've got an error in our schema. Looking okay. This looks okay. That looks okay. And that looks okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to purge the cache, because maybe it was a caching issue. Let's go and try again. Ooh, 3 items now. All right, so we have breadcrumbs, site link search box, and a review snippet. Awesome. Okay, so it detected our review of the 4th wing. Okay, so it's a review. This is the author of the review. This is the name of the review. Okay, then here's the item reviewed, and the ISBN, and the rating, and the review body, the date published, and the ID. Okay, so awesome. We just created a custom schema for our book review. So you notice we had to go back and forth a little bit. I think that's normal, but you want to keep going until your schema is recognized. We've created our schema. Now for a little bit of discussion. In the past, I've looked at different options for SEO and creating schema. And at that time, Slim SEO Schema add-on wasn't available. But looking at it now and testing it, we can see that it's very comprehensive and very flexible. You can use the Slim SEO Schema with other SEO plugins, but personally, I'm liking Slim SEO. So this is a good match for using it with Slim SEO. I found the team behind Slim SEO, it's the same team that creates MetaBox, and I found support to be good and the product to be of good quality. So I'm planning to use Slim SEO Schema on this website for my book reviews. I have shown in the video links to different resources like schema.org and links where you can test your schema, and the links to the Slim SEO website. And so there is a text summary of this video available on the WebTNG website where I'll include all those links. So if you've been looking for a solution for creating schema, or you've been curious about the Slim SEO Schema add-on, I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If so, it helps out if you could give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.